Today we're in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia to test drive this. This is the 2016 Chevrolet Malibu. This 9th generation Malibu is all new from the ground up and it's a lot bigger. So, is bigger better? The new Malibu is stronger. It's bigger, it's 2.3 inches longer, you get 1.3 inches more rear leg room, and the wheelbase track is 4 inches wider. You take all that and guess what? It's even lighter still though. It's 300 pounds lighter than the outgoing model. The look is bold and sleek. It's definitely not aggressive, but you can really tell that there is some style here. In the front you have nice LED accent lighting for the daytime running lights, and wheel options range from 17 to 19 inches, and this car is loaded with a lot of standard features. One of them including keyless entry and starting, which is standard on all vehicles. The trunk definitely has ample room for cargo, but here's one of my little pet peeves is once you open the trunk, there is no inside handle to pull the trunk down, meaning you have to touch the deck lid, which means you get the car dirty or get your hands dirty. Now, when I first got into the Malibu, I looked at the interior, and even though I'm a fan of simple interiors, I just thought it looks really plain. Everything about it, there just didn't seem like there was enough buttons. There was a lack of buttons, but the more I drove it, the more time I spent in it, I realized this is all you need. This is kind of like your standard, your flip phone you used to have with a lot of buttons, or your smartphones, and then it turned into the smartphone, which was now basically it's a tablet with one button. This is very, very clean looking, and it's very functional and very intuitive. So there's two different screens available, a 7 and an 8-inch. This is the 8-inch model you have here. It's a touch screen, and you just have a few buttons. You have a home button and a back button. Below that you have your HVAC system, and below that here you have your regular cup holders. But what's also neat is this one's also equipped with wireless charging. But not only that, they've even included a cooler. So they realized when you charge your phone gets hot, and there's actually a cooler that cools your phone while it's charging. So that might extend some life. You can equip your Malibu any which way you want. This is the LT version. It goes all the way up to the Premier version. This one does have heated seats, and that's one of my little things I want to nitpick about, is that you can only get heated seats if you get the leather option, which is on the higher trims. So it'd be nicer if you could just get heated seats on the base model, or just even close to that. Now, this car is connected. In fact, this is the most connected car in its class. So you have things like the OnStar. This car is also equipped with a 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot, and that's free for a few months when you buy the car, and then after that you can purchase plans. And I thought, well, why would you need that when you usually just have your phone? Well, the reason is that when you buy a particular plan, let's say you get 1 or 2 gigs of data in your car for the plan, it's good for all of North America. So if you're taking a trip into the United States or into Canada, depending where you live, you can be connected at all times, and that's including everyone in the car as well. So all devices in the car, which is a really good feature. The back is quite comfortable, and I found that there's a decent amount of leg room, and the seat backs are carved out. Now, I wouldn't say it has as much room as like the Volkswagen Passat, which I think that's got to be some of the most leg room that there is for a mid-sized car, but definitely a decent amount of space. There's a lot of new safety features on this new Malibu, and we're going to talk about some of those when we get on the road and drive it. Now, General Motors realized that there was room for more safety features that were not particularly active, more of a passive safety feature.
Studies have shown that, especially between 16 and 19 years old, these drivers are just more susceptible to accidents, to being distracted while they drive. There's studies that show that, a higher proportion amount of fatal accidents or serious accidents happen with these younger drivers. So that was really the fuel that kind of got our Malibu team interested in trying to implement something into the car that again will help reinforce safe driving habits between the parent and the child, and just to try and prevent a lot of these unfortunate cases from happening in the future.
So this is how Teen Driver works. I'm going to start the car. All right. It's telling me Teen Driver active right now. Teen Driver active. Audio is muted until all seat belts are fastened. So it has sensors in the seats depending how many people are sitting in the car, and you won't be able to hear any music until all seat belts are on. There we go. Now it works. Another thing it does is you can control the volume as well, so there's only a maximum amount. So young drivers can concentrate on driving more than listening to the music. But the best thing about it is the parent can set up a passcode. And let's just go and go into Teen Driver here. And we're gonna enter in a passcode, enter. And now we can manage settings. We can actually view a report card. So now every time your teen comes home, you can actually look at the report card. It'll tell you the distance driven, the maximum speed, over speed, because you can set what speed you want. So if you want to set it at 80 kilometers an hour for the maximum speed, it'll tell you how many times that warning has gone on, and also tells you how many times you've used stability control or the ABS has been active, so you know that if they were texting and they weren't paying attention, you might get some of these safety aids engaging, and you'll know that. So it is a really, really good system, and it's a first in its class. Now, under the hood on most Malibus is a new 1.5 liter turbocharged engine now, and that puts out 163 horsepower and 184 foot-pounds of torque. That's matched to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, if you want, you can opt for the Premier, which is the former LTZ type of trim that you get on the Malibu, and that comes with a brand new 2-liter turbocharged engine. That puts out 250 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque, which is a lot. And that's matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and both vehicles are front-wheel drive vehicles. Now, a lot of people will probably opt for the LT model like we're driving here with the 1.5 liter, and you can add in whatever options you want. There are 9 additional safety features that are available on this Malibu now. You can get things like radar cruise control, you have blind spot detection, you also have lane keeping assist now, which actually does pull you back in the lane, not just an audible beep. You have pedestrian collision alert and frontal collision alert as well, just to name a few. Along with the new engines and lower weight, the new Malibu also has start-stop technology, which makes the vehicle even more efficient, giving this 1.5 liter turbo a class-leading 6.4 liters per 100K on the highway, which is very impressive for a vehicle this size. And it's not a slouch. This 1.5 liter, like I said before, it's not gutless, which is quite surprising. So what's it cost to get yourself into a new Malibu? Less than what you thought. In fact, it's less money than what the previous generation was. For example, the base L is only $23,495, and that is $3,500 less than the previous model year. Then you go up to the LT, which we have here at $26,995, and that's $1,845 less than the previous generation. And the top dog, the Premier, is $33,795, and that's almost $3,000 off the top model of the previous one. So all in all, less money, more content, good deal.